Hello everyone. Today's workout will actually be a recovery mobility day. That is, in fact, the title of today's workout, Mobility Workout Day 1 or Day A. We will be doing this workout once a week. That'll be every Saturday or Sunday, depending on when you started your week. If you started your week on Sunday doing the workouts, you can certainly do this one on Saturday. Or if you ended your workouts on Saturday, you can certainly do this one on Sunday. Doesn't really matter. This is just a bonus workout for those that want to get a little something in on their day off. We'll do two different portions of this workout. The first portion will be an upper body mobility, and then the second portion will be a lower body mobility. You can certainly follow along with both, or if you feel like you only have the desire or the need to do an upper or a lower, you can certainly just do one. That's certainly fine as well. I'm going to go through both blocks for the workout just for everyone's benefit. You will need basically just a foam roller, a doorway just like this, or I have in the background a band or two. The band will be helping with some of one or two of the stretches throughout the workout. Certainly beneficial, but not absolutely needed. Of course, the foam roller, if you have it, great. If you have something else you could use, like a baseball or a lacrosse ball, that would be useful as well if you don't have the foam roller. Or if you need a substitute, I know in the workout we're substituting diaphragmatic breathing in place of the foam rolling. You can certainly do that as well if you want to continue to follow along with the video. All right, without further ado, let's go on with the first couple exercises. The first couple will be foam rolling. That'll be our lats, our upper back. It's going to be those two. It's going to be just those two for now. I'm cheating a little bit with notes here. It's just going to be those two, lats and upper back. And then we're going to do a sliding overhead press, just like we've done in the past videos with the warm-ups or the ramps. So we're going to be doing that exact exercise. And then we'll do a wall Y, which I'll show once you get to it, a quadruped opposite, and a prone arm arc. Those are all things that I'll show as we go along. But first and foremost, let's go ahead, grab your foam roller, go ahead and put it on the ground, and let's go lat. So with our lat, again, we've done this in previous videos. We're going to do 12 to 15 reps of this one. You're going to be right behind the armpit and underneath the armpit. Right here where that big lat muscle is where we're going to go, right into the armpit and then just below. You go one leg forward or over the bottom leg. Use those legs to help push up and down. We're at number 7 here. Take your time with this. We certainly want to make sure we're getting a good, decent massage in. All right, that's number 10. Let's do 2 more. All right, switching sides. If you want to follow along with the diaphragmatic breathing, that's just going to be laying here like this, supine, and just breathing into the stomach. Hold for 4 seconds in, hold for 4 seconds, or take 4 seconds to breathe in, take 4 seconds to breathe out, rather. You can also add in holding the breath once you've inhaled for another 4 seconds if you want to even slow it down even more. All right, other side. Back up just a tad. There we go. Again, we're utilizing our feet to help roll us back and forth. If you have any spots that kind of hurt, that's what's called the trigger point. We're going to hold or just focus on those trigger points.
lat muscle. Now we're going to go mid to upper back. Basically, we're going to go from right below the shoulder blades, or a little ways below the shoulder blades, but not quite into the low back, all the way to the upper traps. So all the way to just above the shoulder blades, and then back. For this one, we want to try to separate the shoulder blades up, so we're either going to go to prayer position where elbows are closed together, or we're going to hug yourself. Either way. Again, take your time with this.
All right, that concludes the foam rolling for the first part. So floor slide press will be first, and then the wall slides will be on deck. So floor slide is going to be here, laying on your back, arms at 90-90, so 90-degree elbow bend, 90 degrees from the body, feet hook line position, just like this, and then our feet flat on the ground, and then we're going to slide up and down. Now if you have a carpet and you're having a hard time sliding, it's okay if you don't quite get as far, or if you just want to hold this position and get a good stretch while we're going through our reps, you can certainly do that as well. We're going to do 10, or Rich, we're going to do 10 repetitions here. Here we go. Up and down. 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. You're going to also try to get as much mobility out of this as you can. Alright, next we'll be on the wall for a wall slide. So with this one, we're going to come out to a Y. There's 2 different ways to do this. You can put your back up against the wall in a squatted position, or you can also put your feet up again, or sit on the ground. And from here, we're on the wall, and we're coming out to a Y. So here and out to a Y, we're going to try to keep that low back to the wall as much as we can. Or second way to do this, say if you have any shoulder pain or anything like that, where maybe you shouldn't do this particular exercise, you're going to switch it, flip it around. You're going to put your forehead towards your wall, start low, and then come out to a Y. Now, you can't quite see that from that angle, but you're going to, as you're facing the wall, you're going to come up and out, and then come back. You're going to try to keep your elbow and your forearm and your hand on the wall the entire time. So I'll show, it's the same thing, it's the same exact motion with the first version back against the wall. So either way, you're coming out to that Y. So here we go. Come up and out, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. This time we're doing 6 reps, 5 and 6. All right, that was that one. Next was the quadruped. Actually, I gotta look at the next 2. We have the quadruped opposites and the prone arm arc. Quadruped opposites might be betterly known as bird dog. So if you've heard of that before, you might know what I'm about to do here. I digress. We're gonna be in a quadruped position, hands over the chest, hips over your knees. From here, we're just gonna reach out with the opposite arm, opposite leg, and come back. So right arm, left leg, left arm, right leg, right, left arm, right leg. We're gonna do 6 on each side. This is number 2. The thing we should be doing here as we're reaching out, we're not letting our belly sag at all. Our torso's remaining completely still here. Number 4, number 5. You should feel your glutes working as we're reaching out and your shoulders. And 6 prone arm arc. So that one is going to be laying on your stomach. So that's what's called the prone position. We're going to keep our head just slightly above the ground so you're not eating dirt. Or if you want to put your forehead, you can certainly put your forehead on the ground for this one. And you're just going to have your hands, start your hands here, right at the small of the back, right above the butt. You're just going to come up and around, and then back down and around. Nice big arc here. I'll show it kind of at an angle here. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right. We're going to go one more round through all of those except for the foam rolling. So first exercise was the floor slides. So again, 90-90 position, hook line position, and then up and down. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6. This one we're going all the way to 10. 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then we go to the wall Y slides. So again, you can face forward. This time I'll wall sit. So if you remember the good old days when we did wall sits, we're going to be in that position. If you're slightly higher than parallel, that's okay. The biggest thing here is that the low back is on the wall. And then we're going to be here. And of course, we're going to come out to a Y. So up and out to a Y. 1, and 2, and 3. This time we're doing 6, 4. Keep that low back to the wall. Get as much mobility as you can. Once you feel like your arms are popping off the wall or anything like that, it's time to come back the other direction. 5, and 6. Should feel like the rotator cuff and shoulders are burning on that one. All right, quadruped opposites, or AKA bird dogs. Going to be on the ground again. Quadruped, opposites reach. Here we go. Reach it out. Again, the torso does not move here. We're not extending the low back. In fact, we're keeping that neutral position and coming back. Coming back. Even for someone with a little bit of lordosis, I mean, there's not a whole lot we can do about that. We want to push, if you do have that, you want to push try to round that low back towards the sky a little, even just in a normal position here. We want to have that slight round of the low back towards the sky, just trying to hold that neutral position. 5, last one, and 6. Again, we're just reaching out. As we're reaching out, I'll do one more. As we're reaching out, we're trying to get parallel to the ground, and you're going to reach towards the wall and towards the opposite wall. We're not trying to reach up towards the sky with this one. If we're reaching up towards the sky, there's a good chance we're going to arch our back. We don't want that. We're going to abdominals and intra-abdominals to engage, or to work on that. And last exercise, prone arc. Prone arm arc. All right, starting down and then come up and around. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take your time with it. Hover the hands above the ground. 5, and 6. All right. Now that'll be it for that. If you need water or whatever, go ahead and get it. At any point during any of this, if you need a drink, get it. I don't want anybody becoming dehydrated. All right, we're gonna do 3 different exercises with the foam roller again. We're going to the lower body portion now. We're going to do quads, glutes, and calves. Not necessarily in that order, but that's what we're doing. And then we'll hit a hamstring stretch, a quad and hip flexor stretch, and a a straight leg lower with support, and I'll show what we're doing with those as we get to them. All right, foam rolling. Again, if you have the implement, go ahead and use it. If you don't, go ahead and use a substitution, whether that's a golf ball, lacrosse ball, baseball, or again, diaphragmatic breathing if you'd rather do that. Or you can flip over onto your stomach and do what's known as crocodile breathing. It's the same thing, only it's on the stomach. So crocodile breathing, again, would be in this position here, hands or head on your hands, and just breathing into your stomach, taking a nice deep breath, hold it. Breathe in 4 seconds, hold 4 seconds, out 4 seconds. All right. Let's hit our quadriceps. For the foam roller, we're just going to roll up and back. You can certainly go both legs at the same time if you need to. You move over just a tad so everyone can see me. So we're going to go both legs if you need to. I prefer one leg. That's going to drastically increase the pressure here. We're going to go from the top of the knee all the way to the bottom of the hip or right into that hip. Just depends on what you feel like you need. And again, we're going to do 10, well actually I didn't say, we're going to do 10 of these of everything. One round. If you find any trigger points, you want to focus on those. All right, switch it out. Going to the other side. You can also turn your foot in or out to hit different heads of the quad. If you needed to hit the inner quad, you can certainly turn your foot out, just like I'm doing now. You can always, like I said, get into the hip as well, especially anyone with a hip flexor issue. That might be a great idea. You just add that in instead of just hitting the, you can hit the hip exclusively, but you can accomplish both by doing it that way. All right, next will be glute. So you can do glutes 2 ways. If you have a hard time crossing your legs, you can certainly do it this way. We're just laying on one butt cheek, just rolling back and forth. Or if you have the mobility and the arm strength to hold yourself up, you can certainly cross the leg, and we're going to be rolling on the leg, or on the glute of the leg that's up. This provides an additional stretch and an additional pressure to that muscle. Again, going from the bottom of the butt cheek to the top of the butt cheek, and if there's any trigger points, focus on it. Just about 10 reps. If you want to go a little longer, you certainly can. Switch to that. If you feel like you need to go longer, you can certainly go longer. If you go for like a minute of each, it's certainly not going to hurt you. Even 2 minutes. Just depends on what you feel like you have time for and what you need. If you're going to go longer, you might want to pause the video. All right, next will be our calves. So we'll take that foam roller out. Again, with this one, if you want to go both, you can certainly go both. I find the calves, it's really hard to get enough pressure to really make an effective exercise out of this. So I like to go one leg at a time. If you're really sensitive in this area or you have a lot of trigger points, you might only need to do both at the same time. Either way, I'm going to do one just to demo today. We go from the Achilles tendon all the way through to the bottom of the knee. I definitely suggest rolling. As you're rolling, you're turning your foot in and out. So turn your foot in, turn your foot out to hit the inner and outer portions of the calf. Switching sides. Again, if you have any trigger points here, that's definitely gonna be an area you want to focus on. Alright. Again, if you want to go more than the 10 reps, you certainly can. 10 reps is just a suggested, well, it's effective, but it's also a suggested allotment to be both effective and time efficient. If you want to keep it moving, you can keep moving along with me. If you want to continue to roll out, pause the video and roll out more. Alright, next will be the bent knee hamstring stretch, and then the hip flexor stretch, the half kneeling. So bent knee, hip flexor stretch. I'm also going to grab, for the last exercise that we're going to do, a band. And when I grab a band, we're going to need a band or a wall, really. So hip flexor, or excuse me, hamstring stretch. We're going to have one leg straight. Grab the back of the knee of the other leg. You can interchange your fingers if you need to. So then I get a little bit of a stretch and then straighten out the leg. Slowly do it. We're going to do 6 reps. 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. Should feel a pretty good stretch with that. Take your time with the stretch. Don't go too fast. All right, switching sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep the low back to the ground if you can. 5 and number 6. All right. Next will be I'm gonna bunch up my towel here to give myself a little more padding. That's one thing actually I forgot to mention it in the beginning of the video. You'd want a mat or a towel. Anyway, half kneeling position, hip flexion, quad stretch. Hands on the head, we're gonna lean in and rotate. 1 and 2. Again, we're doing 6 of these. 3 and 4 and 5 and number 6. All right, switching sides. All right, lean it in, rotate. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. All right, next will be the leg lower. So you can certainly do this on a wall, preferably if you have a wall, that would be best. So with this, you'll lay with your foot up. So easiest way is to get on your side, scoot your butt over, and then flip up, and then go from the wall. And then from here, you're gonna let your other leg, you can't see my other leg with the camera angle, but you're gonna be here, and it's gonna raise and lower the other leg, up and down. So that will be the easiest way to do it. Or, if you have a band, you can certainly use a band here. Double that band over, put your foot in, hold the leg up, and come up and down. Keep that low back is going to stay to the ground. You should feel a pretty good stretch here in the hamstring. And feel this is our 2 and our 3, and feel your abs working here. 4, 5, and 6. Let's switch sides. 1, 2, 3. Again,
with this one, as we come down, if we feel our low back popping off the ground or we feel our knees bending, it's time to start coming back up the other direction. We got one more. Should not have to deviate from the posture on that one. Alright, so we're going to cycle back through the last couple of those. We're not going to do the foam rolling twice, but we're going to do all the other exercises one more time. So that'll be laying on our back again. We're going to go hamstring stretch. You can certainly bend the knee if you need to, the other knee, or for a bigger stretch, straighten it out. Here we go, straighten it out, 1, and 2, and 3. Should feel a hamstring stretch, 4. You might also feel a stretch in your hip flexor if your hip flexors are tight. 5, and 6. All right, switching sides. Straighten out if you need to. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5. Really hold it for a good second or two at the top. And 6. All right. Hip flexor stretch. We're going to be in a tall kneeling or half kneeling position rather. We're going to lean in and rotate. 1, breathe while you do this. Breathe out as you rotate. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, switch sides. Again, take your time with every rep. If you need to go a little bit slower than me, you can certainly do that. 3, 4, 5, and last one, number 6. All right. Last exercise, last time, will be the leg lowers, supported leg lowers. All right. Double the band over, put your foot in. Doesn't matter which side you start with, keep that little back to the ground, both feet straight, up and down. Keep the legs straight. If you find that knee bending or the low back popping off the ground, time to come back up the other direction. And 3, and 4, and 5, and 6. Let's switch sides. Again, you should feel your abdominals working and your hamstring just a stretching. Here we go. And go. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5. Last one, and number 6. That concludes the mobility day workout today. Again, today's purpose is to help us feel like we're getting recovery, give us a little extra work on that 6th or 7th day of workouts without giving us too much stimulus. We want to make sure we're feeling fresh and ready to go for the next workout, which would be tomorrow or whatever your schedule permits. Again, one of the other things that we want to focus is creating a habit of physical activity or exercise every single day, because that's what's going to help add to our resting metabolic rate and help create that fat burn. Now, is doing mobility drills going to directly help fat loss? No, but it's going to help us be more efficient when we're working out and being able to move better and be able to work out longer. Thanks for tuning into this workout.
And of course, if you want to add on repetitions, or if you want to add on another round of sets as you get better at these exercises, as the weeks progress, certainly do that. If you want to do 3 rounds of all the exercises, if you want to do a second round of the foam rolling, if you want to do 10 reps of everything instead of just 6, certainly add those in. This video is geared towards someone who's just starting, or someone who might be maybe just start a little bit past that, maybe in that beginning to intermediate phase of their workout career. If you feel like you're a little bit more advanced than that, certainly go ahead and add on reps, sets, or add on to the foam rolling as well. Do that smartly. Add on just a couple of reps, 2 or 3 reps, or add on just 1 round at every single week, and then slowly progress from there. Thanks for tuning in to today's mobility workout. It's again designed to help us move better during the workouts, both upper body and lower body, and hit up some of those weak points, or improve some of those weak points. We'll see you guys on the next video.